if a man is in a position where he spends most of his time doing things for his mother, it is naturally going to mean that his own life will be greatly diminished. In fact, he may not have much of a life. And to use an analogy, it would be like someone who gives a beam that supports their house to someone else so they can use this beam to support their house. So this other person's house can be very secure, but their house, the first person's house, can be falling down, or it can end up fall down after a while, so they will be doing something that doesn't make any sense. And so in order for this man to start to build up his own life, he will need to draw the line with his mother. He will need to start saying no. And he may need to start saying no to other people in his life as well. And if he was to imagine saying no to his mother, he could end up feeling anxious and fearful, and he could end up being overwhelmed or end up drowning in guilt and shame. And so it will be as though he is doing something wrong, when in reality he will be doing the right thing, because even if his mother is, let's say, unwell and she can't do much for herself, he will still have his own life to lead. So he won't always be able to be there. He should feel comfortable saying no. Because, of course, if he doesn't say no, no one else is going to be there to look after him. He should have this self-protective mechanism in place. And, of course, if he is this way, it will most likely be due to what took place very early on. So his mother may have used him to meet some of her adult and unmet childhood needs, and if he ever tried to express his needs, he may have been punished, disapproved of, and or abandoned. And so he would have come to believe that his needs and his self were bad. And if he did express his needs, he would have suffered greatly. And so his mother will have played a big part in why he is unable to say no to her now, and why ignoring himself, perhaps swallowing his own words and doing what is right for her, is what will feel comfortable. And although it would be easy to purely focus on the part that his mother would have played here, what this would overlook is the part that his father would have also played. And so if his father was there, he probably would have been emotionally unavailable, which is why his mother would have, partly why his mother would have looked to him to fulfill some of her needs. Most likely she also had a fear of intimacy and felt ashamed of her own needs, which was probably why, if she did end up with someone who was emotionally unavailable. So assuming that his father was around, he may have also acted like a doormat. He may have said yes to his partner, so the man's mother, and simply done whatever she wanted most of the time. And so he would have learned very early on that his needs were bad and that he needed to be there for his mother. And then he would have, of course, seen his father, and at this age he would have identified with his father. This is how he would have developed his own sense of self. But of course his father most likely lacked a strong sense of his own masculinity. He's probably disempowered himself, and so he would have seen that, okay, this is how, unconsciously, this is how men behave. They allow women to walk over them. So instead of his father showing him that he is a man and he is there to stand his ground, to say no, his father would have told him indirectly that this is what he should do. He should allow women to walk over him, and he should focus on their needs. And so if his mother laid the foundations, his father would have been someone who built the next floor, built the next layer of the house. And so this shows how it is not just the mother that plays a part here, it is also the father. And of course, along with the man being enmeshed to his mother because he didn't receive the right care very early on, his father may have also been abusive. So there can be many other kinds of traumas that a mother-enmeshed man experiences, which is why he can be in such a bad way, so alienated from himself and so focused on others, and his mother in particular. So if you are a man and you can relate to this, and you are caught up, entangled with your mother, and you feel bad for asserting your own needs and saying no, please know that this is the right thing for you to do. You are here to live your own life and to protect yourself. If you don't want to do something, then you should stand your ground. And when you can say no and really mean it, then you'll be able to say yes and really mean it. So if you can relate to this, please reach out for external support so that you can start to live a life that is worth living.